so good. It was so good to get exposure to you and your thinking and how you build businesses, and again, your way of thinking and how you approach it. That was very valuable, and a lot of that filtered through in my day-to-day job as well. So introducing that type of thinking in terms of, okay, so if we're starting a project, have we done our research? Do we know that we can get a result? All of these type of things, or that type of thinking, was super valuable. One of the many things that I respect in your process is that you walk the talk, and you're transparent in taking on these challenges and showing, okay, I'm going to do this. And in my mind, I go, he's going to do it again. I mean, that literally is what I think. And then I was, okay, well, how can I learn from that? So, it's great to see. It's great to see someone push the boundaries like that. To be brutally honest, it's time with you. If my excuse for the longest time was, okay, I have this idea in my head of, what I think is possible, but I've not been able to identify a person that I see we're able to do that. So, that was my excuse for the longest time. Oh, I think it's possible, but has someone actually done it? And then when I met you and I engaged with you, it was clearly evident that you were doing these things. So having a mentor that went through that process and delivered all of those results, and having time with them, and having the mentor accelerate your thinking and your results. I mean, that by far has been the greatest benefit of going through the process. Yeah, absolutely, it was beneficial, and not necessarily just in the context of setting up that process, but as a individual, as a person. So, being someone that is quite private, from the outset can appear closed down, being an introvert. What really helped there, just from a personal perspective, is to open up more, to be more receptive of other energies. I mean, this is now obviously before the whole world went into lockdown. Just from a personal perspective, I felt a lot more. There's no better way to describe it but to say that energetically, it just felt like the energies were flowing a lot easier than before. I wasn't as closed off. So that definitely helped. And also that started manifesting itself in what I did on an everyday basis. So that reflected in my vocation. And obviously it reflected inside the courage that was required to, take that leap of faith and say, okay, we're going to invest in cryptocurrencies. If you follow the system, then this is where you can get to. So, I find it very, very beneficial. An additional payoff, and having gone through the process of having an accountability partner, I think that has really benefited me in so many ways. In that, like now, every day, well, not every day. I have a system. I have a system to track exactly where I am every day. And it is, I do it with like consistency that I've never been able to do before. Like I would start something and then finish it, and start something and finish it. And being able to go through the mentoring process. And it's not an easy process because there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to happen. And that's not an easy thing to go through. It's not a comfortable process to go through. And having gone through it and sticking with it, and again having someone to play your accountability partner has been really great. And I mean, I have my little system, my little spreadsheet that I go through, and it is something that I modeled on what we saw you doing in the very outset of the mentoring program. And I mean, it's going for almost 2.5 years now. almost 18 months rather. So being able to consistently, or being able to stay with something, it's been a real game changer for me. But also, I mean, it offers a way where you can go back and take stock to see, this is where I've been, this is where I am now. And so often when we're in the process of going through change, when you're doing it, it doesn't feel like anything is happening. But if you're able to now, cast back and say, well, this is where I am, this is where I was, this is where I am now, it's so valuable. If I was to give advice to anyone considering joining, just do it. Just do it. Like, if you follow the system, if you follow the steps, you'll get the results. But it's not just the financial aspect, it's the soft skills, it's the skills that you can gain from going through the transformational process of understanding like where you are and the person that you need to be in order to create that final result. Being able to go through that transformational process and being able to have the self-awareness to notice these changes. I mean, can you put a price on that?